Welcome to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. And as always, it is brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined as always by Hazleton Area head football coach Dennis Boatman. We look ahead to Friday night's game against Dallas. We'll have a special guest from the Cougar coaching staff. And coming up next, we talk about the great come-from-behind victory against the Berwick Bulldogs. That's all this week on Sports Talk.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton has the health care you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Marty Burns, joined as always by Hazleton Area head coach Dennis Boatman. And coach, team made it 3 in a row in an exciting fashion, come from behind 30-25 victory over Berwick. We got a lot of highlights to get to, so we'll just make a couple of quick points. I thought after the first 2 drives, your defense adjusted well. Really held Berwick at one point to 11 plays, minus yardage. You got a safety. And in the second half, they got 1 touchdown because of a special teams miscue, and then they hit a long pass. But other than that, the defense really played well. And we talked about it, and people may say it's getting old, but you know, from top to bottom, everybody contributed that hit that field on Saturday night. And your regulars made plays, but I thought the 2 key players that made plays, and we'll see them a lot in the highlights near the end, was Yohan Robles defensively. And I thought in 2 key situations, you fell down 18-9, you answered. But what key play before the touchdown was a 3rd down conversion, and then on the winning drive, a 3rd down conversion, both of them by Christian Price.
First of all, the resiliency by our players, our coaches, our entire program was really incredible. As you said, we found ourselves down 2 times by 2 possessions. I thought another key in the football game, and I told our players what was really special was the fact that we stopped 2 2-point conversions and an extra point attempt, which is 5 points in a 5-point game. And it's easy for our players, after giving up a touchdown, to kind of hang their heads and allow a cheap 2 points. But we didn't do that. As you said, contributions from top to bottom, and I'm just so proud of all the players in our program, the coaches. It was really special, and they all definitely deserve that.
And the other thing that helped your defense, your offense held the ball for almost 30 minutes on Saturday night. But let's get to those highlights because we got a long list of them. And we start with the defensive side of the ball and Ryan Mathias.
Ryan Matthews stepped up for us. Played some inside backer. We had Kevin in and out of the game. We didn't have him the entire second half. Ryan's so special, only a sophomore.
And we go to the special teams, and Matthew Casas, as it seems like he does every week, at least one big kickoff return.
Our return team did a really nice job this week. We talk about getting momentum back on special teams. We did that time and time again.
And here we get a nice stop by Dante Mattarella.
Dante Mattarella was the guy inside. Without Kevin at times, and he answered the call.
And here a pass breakup by Matthew Bookman on one of those two-point conversions.
It was a great job for our defense to be able to tighten up and be able to stop Berwick here on a two-point conversion attempt.
And a go-to guy for Kellen Warner, Connor Shimani.
Shimani, Casadas, Matthews, Price. Our receivers are really starting to evolve and come into their own as a group.
And now we see Kellen running the football.
He's just a gamer. I mean, he's the person that you want touching the football every time in our program.
And on senior night, here's Seth Hunsinger.
Once again, we put the game in the seniors' hands, and they answered the call. And Seth Hunsinger there does so much for our program, so much for our team, makes a wonderful play.
And a big break here early, James Bugda forcing a fumble.
Jimmy Bugda, another senior, makes a play when we need it. We're down 12 at this point. We needed a turnover, and once again, our defense generates that turnover.
And I thought this young man ran hard all night long, Matthew Bookman.
What was really impressive by Matthew is he was always falling forward the entire night. 88 yards on 22 carries. They were hard-earned 88 yards.
And here, great athleticism on the touchdown to Matthew Casadas.
He goes over Sean Sheptock, who I think is one of the best athletes we'll see all year, going to Cornell. Matt Casadas right here makes an incredible play to be able to go over top of a player who's 6'3".
Along with Hunsinger, here's Max Barrett on a sack.
Max Barrett, another guy, played defensive end for us at a rush position, also played some inside linebacker. He's somebody who's just so smart.
Team defense, Coach.
You have to love it. We talk about it every week, and it's contagious here, though. You see a lot of scarlet jerseys to the football every play.
Matthews and Bugda combine on the safety.
Ryan Matthews here, primary force player. Jimmy Bugda being able to track down Sean Sheptock. What a play, and that brings momentum even more towards the Hazleton area Cougars after that play there.
Great return here by Matthew Bookman.
Once again, our special teams. Coach Perkowski does a great job working with special teams all week. And we see here a bunch of Hazleton area players making blocks, and Matthew was able to find a crease, and he was able to get upfield.
We go back to the offensive passing game, and here's Matthew Casadas.
Our pass game is really starting to take shape. Matt Casadas knew exactly where the sticks were on third down there. Goes up, attacks the football. We talk about 80-20 balls in our program.
Here we get a sack, Robles and Bugda.
This was a play that Berwick went to quite a bit early. Nor had some success. We were able to make some adjustments, and as you see, our defensive line played well all night.
And here's some more team defense.
Being able, if you look there, Matt Casadas does a great job of taking away the slant, which then doesn't allow Nor to get to a second progression. We were able to make a play.
And now we go back to Robles and Bugda.
They're all over the field. It seems like all night. I'm sure you were calling their names a lot as well, because they made plays the entire night.
And not to be outdone after his great game against Pittston area, Connor Kundrat.
Connor Kundrat, another sophomore, continues to get better and better, and he showed up for our defense plenty.
And here's Connor again.
Our outside backers, they trust the system, they play within the system, and they continue to make plays, and we're going to continue to get better at that position.
And just as you talked about earlier, running hard and leaning forward. What a great run here by Matthew.
Sprint draw that probably should have got about +2. He ends up getting +7 here on just a hard-nosed physical run.
Another 2-point conversion, and once again, Coach, team defense.
This is just a big play here. We have our defensive line. Max Barrett comes in as well at the end of the play to make sure the stop was had.
What a great scramble here by Kellen.
Pocket presence. This is leadership. This is what we expect out of the quarterback of our program, who just refuses to lose football games.
And here's one of those key conversions for a first down to Christian Price.
Christian, it seems like it could be any one of our receivers at any time, and they're all there for each other. They trust in their routes, and Kellen's able to distribute the ball.
And the first touchdown of the year for Connor Shimani.
Skinny post off our zone, And what a great route, outside stem, attacking the inside half of the corner, and Connor does the rest after he catches the football.
And here comes another example of team defense. Kundrat blows up the play, and then we get a tackle from Robles and Barrett.
11 hats to the football, and it's really special here as you just see a bunch of scarlet jerseys swarm into the screen. They all want to make plays, and they all want to do it for each other.
And here we get to see Mr. Beaver with a nice tackle.
Jason Beaver, another one of those seniors on senior night. As I said, we put the game in their hands, and they answered the call.
On a drive that got you your first lead of the night, what a great catch here by Connor Shamani.
It's a really nice play by Connor to be able to go up and get the football, 80-20 balls. And you know what? Kellen gave him an opportunity to make a play. That's trusting your guy.
And Kellen hung in there. We saw him get hit as he threw.
Absolutely. Toughness, gritty, pocket awareness.
And here you get your first lead of the night on a great run where Matthew went in untouched.
We have counter trap here. Matthew Bookman was able to get small, lower his pad level to get through the hole, and then does the rest for a 13-yard run.
What a great play call here on the two-point conversion.
We have a slant flat play here to our back, and I mean, first of all, the protection, then the delivery of the football, and then Matthew finishes it with the catch.
Here we go, Bogdan Hunsinger.
Once again, we talk about that defensive line, the heart and soul of our team. Talk about those front four and our two inside backers make our defense go.
Berwick got the lead back, but here Matthew Casadas with a great kickoff return.
We talked about in the preview show how important special teams are. We take the momentum back here after being down by this big kickoff return that puts us in Berwick territory.
And we go back to the running game, and who else? Matthew Bookman.
Just tough. Look at the block by Dante Mattarella. You see our offensive line blocking until the whistle. Matthew falling forward. Just a physical run.
And on a long yard situation, great pass to Matthew Casadas.
Being able to find the hole in cover 3 there, we were able to get vertical on the number 2. We worked that all summer long. Kellen delivers a strike, and that's a great job by Matt Casadas as well.
Said this a lot tonight. Another hard run from Matthew Bookman.
Falling forward. You count there 7, 8 Berwick players trying to bring him down. Just a physical runner all night long.
And another key third down conversion to Christian Price.
Christian Price on a hitch here, rolls to his outside shoulder. The balls continued to be tucked with pressure and was able to fight for a hard 9-yard gain, which was a huge first down for us on third down.
And then spread them out, quarterback draw.
We went quads here, which was a different look that we haven't shown all game. Kellen Warner was able to get down to the 3-yard line, which eventually sets up Mr. Red Zone as he's starting to be called.
Ah, nice. You've been showing number 1, but here's Dante Mattarella with the winning touchdown.
Another senior, right? Putting the ball in a senior's hands, and not only Dante Mattarella, but every one of his teammates are there to be able to make sure that he gets in the end zone.
Yeah, on senior night, I think I saw number 58 give him a nice little push.
Absolutely.
And then we talked about him. We're going to see 3 great plays by Johan Robles, 2 batted passes, and then he causes a fumble.
Johan, I mean, first of all, it starts with, him trusting his coaching. He continues to get better each week, and he came up huge for us in this final drive.
There was the second one.
He was able to squeeze off a down block and able to get vertical once again for a tip pass.
And here, what a great play. Not only does he cause the fumble, but he recovers it.
Absolutely. The ball's on the ground, and he actually, at this moment where we are on the sideline, we're not sure if we're fighting for the football or not. Here we watch the film, and Johan's just laying on the ground with the ball by himself. That moment right there felt like an eternity.
And to get a win like this, I know we've talked about, once you got that first one, we thought you could get a streak going. But to get this third one the way you did and come from behind fashion, as you mentioned, a couple times down by multiple scores, and your team never quit. And I know I'm going to be a broken record, but continual contributions from top to bottom on your roster.
I think it speaks volumes of what we're doing in our program. I'll probably sound like a broken record as well, but the trust, love, and commitment that we have in our program that we've talked about from day one. We set a lot of goals for our football team, both on and off the field. We continually check off those boxes of those goals. What made Friday really special as well is being down by 2 possessions 2 different times in the football game. It would have been really easy for our players after being down 12-0 early to kind of pack it in, and I'm sure there were some out there thinking, uh-oh, here's the same old Hazleton area football team again. But we were able to calm down, settle into the football game, trust each other, and be able to play for one another. We had players who are starting on the offensive side of the football, but not on the defensive side, playing on scout team this week because they wanted to make sure our defense got better and we were able to respond to different situations and different looks that we would see from Berwick throughout the week. And that also speaks volumes of our coaching and our players responding to that coaching and continuing to get better. We talked about making those weaker points positives, and since that Wilkes-Barre game, our back half of our defense has continued to get better and better. That's not only because of them though, that's the pass rush that we have from our front four, that's our inside backers being able to stop the run as well to force teams to have to get the ball more vertically down the field. But I mean, players are buying in. We talked about we get on a roll here, and now we've won 3 straight, and we don't want this ride to end. We want to continue, and we're approaching every week now like it's playoff football.
Now our guest this week comes from your coaching staff, a former player who's been in the battle in the trenches. Why don't you introduce our next guest?
Matt Sterick. He does a little bit of everything for our program. Coaches the offensive defensive line along with Tom Major and Scott Sacco. Runs our strength and conditioning portion of our program. First guy there does everything. He's really special. Was in the program with Coach Brennan, and like Coach Painter and Coach Drumheller, he was immediately, I'm going to be here and I'm staying here. Hazleton guy, wants to see this program turn in the right direction, and I mean, I couldn't do obviously what I do, and our players and program couldn't do what we're doing right now without Coach Sterick.
Well, we're going to hear from Coach Sterick right after this commercial message.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
Welcome to a new kind of primary care for everyone 65 and older, where doctor appointments last up to an hour, lab work and x-rays are done on site, and there's a care team devoted to you.
It's kept me more motivated. I physically feel better.
Take classes in the fitness center or work out on your own.
It's just been one great experience for us. Best thing that happened in a long time.
Geisinger 65 Forward, the care you deserve.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill at Blaze Alexander Mazda of Greater Hazleton. We're taking advantage of 0% financing for 63 months on the 2020 Mazda CX-9. Also on the 2020 Mazda 3 all-wheel drive hatchback. Or come check out the new 2021 Mazda CX-30. And you wanted pre-owned cars? We've got the largest selection of pre-owned inventory in the area. Whether you're looking for a family car, a sports car, an SUV, a truck, we've got vehicles as low as $199 a month. So log on and check them all out at blazemazdahazelton.com. And don't forget, you always win in Hazleton.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Hazleton, talk to State Farm agent Pete Keselika.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Turn your existing connected devices into motion sensors. Plume. Know your home's every move.
Two Italian Guys Pizzeria. 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton area high school football. As always, it's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm your host, Marty Burns. Coach Bookman has left us for this segment, and we're here with assistant coach Matt Starrick. And Coach, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Coach, we talked about so often with Coach Bookman the history of this Hazleton area program. You were a part of it as a player, and then to be part of it as an assistant coach. What was it that to you wanted to stick around and be a part of it with Coach Bookman?
Well, when I was a freshman, I actually played with Coach Bookman. I got brought up as a freshman, started playing with him. So it helped in that aspect of growing up with him. He was graduated with my brother, and I knew how much he loved football as much as I did. So it was easy to get on board with him, try and turn this program back around how it was when me and him played together.
Now, let's talk about that defensive line, because we talk about it so often, how it makes the job for the linebackers so much easier with the sheer penetration they get week after week. And it's not just one guy. It seems like it's this whole line that, sometimes you'll get Hunsinger making a play, then you'll get Bugda, then you get Barrett, and then, as we saw at the end of the game, Johan Robles stepping up.
Yep.
Talk about this defensive line and their contributions.
It's nice having the older guys this year, and there's 3 coaches there to help, keep an eye on everything that they're doing between Coach Majors and Coach Sacco. We can make sure they're taking their proper steps and doing everything proper and getting themselves in a good position, And the kids always work hard and do everything we ask of them, and they're always in the right position to get things done.
And I think the other thing that makes it successful, because I didn't even mention Jason Beaver, but you have more linemen that we talk about than your normal 4 that you come in the 4-man front. So you're able to rotate these guys, keep them fresh so that they can be aggressive come the fourth quarter, trying to protect the lead and come in and try to go after the quarterback.
Right, yeah. So most of them play both ways. So we have to try and keep them fresh. We need them for offense as well. They got to be able to move the ball up front. So we try to give a good rotation of, with our ends and tackles to keep them as fresh as possible. Whoever needs a little more blow first, kind of give them a rest and keep a nice rotation with those guys.
And then, as you mentioned, a lot of the same names we see on the offensive line. And we had Kellen here last week, and we talked about the Tunkhannock game. Threw almost 350 yards, and he was clean most of the night. He maybe got hit once or twice, and that was about it. That's a credit to that offensive line. And just talk about how they've developed and how well they're playing at this point.
Yeah, we take pride in, keeping Kellen clean. Our goal every week is to make sure Kellen's not touched, and we always work that every week. The running backs are a big help with that too. Coach Jeremy comes over to make sure, when they're not going out any routes, that they're there with us to make sure we keep Kellen clean. And we get our best on the best every time we're in practice, make sure Beav is getting a good guy against him, because that's the only way he's going to get better. If Seth isn't going, he'll go against him on defensively to make sure Beav is getting a good rep and getting better at every day.
And the thing I've been impressed with, you face a lot of different kinds of defenses. Crestwood likes to come with different elaborate blitz packages and pressure and that type of thing. Wilkes-Barre area, they've always been under Coach Cynthia. They, what they're going to get, they want to come at you with power. Berwick was big the other night. And your guys just keep coming week after week, and they're constantly physical. And I think that helps and aids in the hard running game you guys have.
Yeah, a good thing that helps with that stuff is our guys are always good at watching film. I keep an eye on to see how much film they watch, and sometimes they're pretty close to almost watching how much film I'm watching. I'm like, did I watch enough this week? I watch a little extra, and that definitely helps. Our guys watch film on their own, and they're always ready to put in the work and make sure they're ready to go for Friday nights.
And I would think it almost makes your job easier come Friday night with this season group, with watching the film, that you can trust them to communicate to each other along the line pre-snap that, hey, watch this, we got this, and then that type of thing, that you can trust these senior leaders to make the line calls and almost be another coach on the field.
Yeah, that's a huge part. We're always talking about that in practice is, hey, you got to talk before pre-snap what you're seeing. If there's a guy coming off the edge, making sure you're making our calls. And even as the play's going on, we're still making calls, when we're doubling off, so he knows he's there to take over to get up to the next level to make sure he gets to our backers so that they could get to the next level so our back has a clean run.
And real quick, Coach, we talk about the defense. Tough start early on against Berwick, but you guys seem to really make the adjustments on the fly quick. And just talk about how, especially this defensive line, can make those adjustments pretty quick on the fly.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. We have enough coaches that are looking at the inside guys, the outside guys. Maybe they're not squeezing down tight enough. So we'll correct them, pull them out real quick. Be like, hey, you got to squeeze in a little more here. Here's what we're seeing, and we got guys that have eyes on everything to make sure they're doing everything proper and we're in the right position.
Well, Coach, I hope it was painless because it went quick. So thanks a lot for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back with Coach Bookman to talk about the Dallas Mountaineers.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
We've seen the concern in your eyes. You're scared, nervous, want to know if it's safe. The answer is yes. At LVHN, you'll see the extraordinary steps we take to get you the care you need safely. At all our facilities, you'll see temperature checks for everyone, that we sanitize every surface, and yes, you'll see that masks are required. What we look forward to seeing is relief in your eyes. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
CARES has immediate openings for life-sharing providers to mentor and provide care in their homes for an adult with intellectual disabilities.
Chris and I have known each other for 10 years, and it was suggested to us that we might want to try life sharing. We have done that, and it's worked well for us.
I like the experience LifeShare gives me in the companionship.
If you would like to learn more, call CARES at 866-CARES-VIP.
Have an electrical problem? Call the Wire Guys. Need lights installed? Call the Wire Guys. Anything and everything electrical, big or small. Our rigorously trained licensed electricians are fully screened, always on time, work neat, clean, and thorough. The Wire Guys. We're here 24/7, 365. All of our work is guaranteed 100%. When you need electrical work, you need Wire Guys.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN. Coach, got about a minute and a half left. I wanted to make a joke about Coach Manello running the wishbone, but obviously you won't see that this week. Coach Manello in Dallas is your opponent, your last road game. What concerns you about this Dallas Mountaineer team?
Their track record speaks for itself. They were in a state title game last year. Coach Manello, his staff, his program, first class. Very physical football team. Very disciplined football team. Coach Manello is not changing for anybody. What Dallas has done, they will continue to do. They do it really, really well. We have to make sure that first and foremost, we worry about ourselves. We clean up those mistakes that we made. It wasn't a clean football game for us by any means on Saturday night. We'll make those adjustments. We'll be able to attack where we see weaknesses in Dallas, and we're going to be ready for another playoff type game for the Hazleton area Cougars on Friday night, and we're excited for the challenge and see how far we've come since last year against Dallas.
Coach, good luck Friday night, hoping for 4 in a row against Dallas. So for Coach Boatman, Coach Starrick, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Join us next week for another edition of Sports Talk. We go over the game against Dallas, a look ahead to the Wyoming Valley West Spartans. That's all next week on Sports Talk, along with a special guest from the Cougar football team. As always, Sports Talk is brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.